Human experimentation, government cover-ups, rogue AI, slavery. To some, this sounds like hell. To others, it's just another day in Tarkov. Today we're going to be covering part 1 of the Tarkov Iceberg. So now, let's go ahead and get started. Bear versus Usec. Bears are a private military company who were created by the Russian government to fight against the illegal activities of the terror group. They're all ex-special forces and they're all from former Soviet countries. So their main job was to fight the Usecs and to bring an end to the illegal activities Terror Group was doing, along with finding any evidence on Terror Group that they could. They fight in a bunch of other places, including Iran, Kazakhstan, and Thailand. The Usecs are another PMC group. They came from two different companies that merged together. It's Kernisec and SafeC. The main job of the Usecs for when they were working with Terror Group was to destroy any evidence that they could get their hands on and make sure the Bears didn't get their hands on any evidence of illegitimate activities. Terror Group is not the only company that the Usecs work for, and they are actually all over the world and currently have 7,500 contractors working for them. All maps are connected. This one's pretty simple, so it's just pointing out that all the maps are connected. There are sections in the map where you can see other sections, or parts where you can just go from one to the other. You have transit, but before you had the transit, you had things like path to shoreline and other stuff like that, or on shoreline, path to lighthouse. So yes, all maps are connected. China ban. A lot of players just really wanted China to have a closed off servers because a majority of the cheaters do come from China, and it's just a really big issue, and they wanted them to have closed servers where they could only play with each other because it would remove like 90% of the cheaters. Scavs are civilians. So again, this is like a really simple one. When all the bad stuff started happening in Tarkov with Terror Group and everything like that, everyone left, or everyone that could leave left. A bunch of people stayed, including like gangsters and thugs and mob bosses and stuff, but a lot of the scavs that stayed were civilians that just could not make it out. For whatever reason that happened, I don't know, but a lot of them were just civilians who are now just trying to survive. Traders are in the city. This is an older Iceberg, so I'm not sure what information the guy had access to, but yes, all the traders are in the city of Tarkov. Starting off with Propwar, he's in the Verknite urban settlement. It's on the shore somewhere, so it could be next to shoreline or lighthouse or anywhere you can really see the water, but that's really up to guess. Therapist is in the city, and as of right now, that is streets. Fence is never in one place for long, he is constantly moving. Skier is in customs. Peacekeeper is at the port district. Mechanic is also in customs. Ragman's in the central market. That might be in streets. I'm not really sure. Jaeger is in the Priozerk's nature district. I'm guessing that's on woods because that's the only area that really is nature. And Ref is at the airport. So yes, they are all in Tarkov. Usecs killed Terror Group employees. Yeah, so in Tarkov Raid Episode 3, you see the Usecs murdering Terror Group employees on the little hand recorder that the Bears are watching. I believe this was an attempt to minimize the witnesses of what was actually going on at Terror Group. Terror Group experiments on people. So in the quest Terror Group, Peacekeeper gives us the mission of going and finding a flash drive that Sanitar had left in his office. On this flash drive, after we give it to Peacekeeper, he tells us that Sanitar was committing unethical experiments on people. So you can actually even find the room where the people were experimented on. In labs, it's Black Room. That's why there's syringes all over the place, and that's why there's a bed in the center in a glass cube. Raiders are PMCs gone bad. In the game's description of raiders, it lists them as a shady group of armed people who, according to rumors, consist of former PMC operators and local residents. They possess great combat and tactical skills. So raiders are not just formerly PMCs, but also are made up of former residents of Tarkov that have more training than a regular scav. The former PMCs, now raiders, probably realized they could make more money scavenging and stealing than they were actually making from their employer. Streamers control the meta. So people that play the game so much that they decide to stream it are usually pretty good at the game. They're pretty knowledgeable of the weapons and equipment that you have access to. So they're usually running the best of whatever is available. So whether that's damage, ergo, or recoil, or all three. Most people are pretty impressionable, so if they see their favorite streamer running the meta or what's currently best, they're going to be like, I want to run that because I want to get kills like this guy does. So they're all going to start running that exact same gun, along with whatever gear the streamer wears as well, so armor and stuff like that as well. UN doesn't care. So Peacekeeper gives you a mission where the entire point of it is to dress up like a UN employee and go around killing scavs so it looks like the UN is actually doing its job. But instead of addressing the fact that the UN is actually not doing its job, he has you do it so he doesn't lose his funding. Here's a quote from Peacekeeper. We are one step away from losing financing, which, my friend, is the opposite of profitable for us. So we need to convince the public that the helmets are actually doing what they are supposed to do. So even if the actual UN cares, the guy who's leading the UN soldiers that are actually in Tarkov does not. Scavs use aimbot. Instead of BSG coding in the scavs to have a percentage to hit, a percentage not to hit, how to aim, stuff like that, they just went online and bought an aimbot and just gave it to the scavs. If you played Tarkov in I think it was 2018, 2019, the scavs used to be John Wick and would head eyes you from 300 meters away with a shotgun. And it pissed a lot of people off. Now the scavs wear special needs helmets though, so it's all good. Thank you so much for sitting through with me and watching part 1 of the Tarkov Iceberg. If you really enjoyed it, you can leave a like, and if you want to see more of my stuff, you can go ahead and subscribe. If you would like to watch part 2, you can watch it right here. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and have an excellent rest of your day.